Okay.
Fuck, we didn't get the Xbox 360 till I was in high school. I was like a freshman in high school when we finally got it.
Dude, the 360 came out when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
There's been many years that have gone by.
I know.
Many problems for my 360 have came and went.
I know.
By the time you had already gotten one, I had already had two.
Yeah.
My first one completely crapped out on me, and now there's this one right here.
Well, the one that we ended up getting, my brother and my dad took my brother
to a pawn shop.
No, they actually found it at a garage sale.
You kidding me?
They actually found it at a garage sale for a fairly decent price.
What was decent?
I don't remember.
If it wasn't $50,
it was more than that.
75?
No, like I thought it was a pretty decent price.
85?
For an Xbox, huh?
$85?
I don't remember.
If it's more than 100, it wasn't a deal.
See, that's the thing, I don't remember.
But
it was in really good shape. And there was like two games that came with it, so they obviously took really good care of it. Not like when it got to my house, they almost have already fucking broken it. They've almost fucking destroyed it. So you know the tray that has to pop in and out?
Yeah.
Our tray doesn't sit right in the console for it to come in and out.
See, that's what happened to mine.
We have to force it open.
See, my because the tray, it has these little spinning rotes, like teeth in a gear, how they spin together.
Yeah.
One of them pretty much broke. So when I pressed the eject button, you would hear it like go, it would like and you could hear it try and push out, but it's stuck. So what I'd do is I'd have to pull it out until it finally like, okay, now I can freely move out, and then it'd push itself out finally. And it got to the point where it just wouldn't open.
I wonder if that's kind of explaining like what happened with ours.
But then later,
I wonder if that is what happened to it.
Like a few months later, the disc reader just completely shit. So it wouldn't really read games unless I like hit it a bunch, and then for some reason it would understand. But there, in here, there is Saints Row 4 and Battlefield 3. Those games are completely ruined because of that. I cannot play them because it just laser burned them.
Oh, that sucks.
It sucks, but it makes sense. Like, it was bound to happen eventually, I thought.
That's kind of what ours has started doing. The one at home. It kind of... I guess... It's not having that bad of a problem. Oh, fuck.
See, that's when you'd have to disassemble it. Like unplug it from all its cords and whatnot. Take it down to someone, like GameStop, and see what they have to say. See if they can do something. Or direct you to somebody. Because if you do it the way I try to do it, it will not get better. It'll only get worse.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't ruined any of the games so far that I know of.
Well,
but there was like one or two games that we had where it would take a while for it to read the game and actually start to play it.
Yeah, that
It'd be
happens.
one of those things where we kept opening and closing the tray and just making it like reread it.
Yeah,
before it started to play.
Sometimes that happens. I had to do that a lot with DVDs because it just, for some reason, doesn't pick them up real quick. But then again, it's probably trying to actually activate the DVD part of the portion, which no one's really put too much time into. But, you know, whatever. See, but yeah, favorite Batman, which one? Which one? Which one? Which Batman do you like?
Probably
like,
the newer one.
Which one? Are you talking about
like,
movie-wise?
What are you talking about exactly?
Comic book-wise, where it really counts.
I told you I don't read the freaking comic books, so I don't know.
Which one, Uda?
God damn it.
Which one, Uda?
It's hard to, like,
which one?
get this concept across to you, isn't it?
Like, if you don't understand the comics, then how do you understand the movies?
I'm just thinking, like, because the way I view, like, how I like
You're going
Batman
off actor.
or versus Superman is how good the actor is that is portraying
bullshit.
them.
That's bullshit.
Because all I see are the movies, not the comic books, So if I'm talking movie-wise, I'm going by how well the actor portrayed the character.
Because first of all, here's how it gets breaking down movie-wise. Some douche canoe comes in, like Tim Burton. He's like, I'm going to make my own Batman, and I'm going to have Michael Keaton as Batman, and it's going to be super good, and people eat it up. But like me, I was like, that's bullshit. This Batman sucks dick. And then Val Kilmer comes along, and people are like, that's a terrible Batman. I'm like, Val Kilmer, by far one of the best ones. He's up there with Adam West. And people are like, you're a complete idiot. I was like, no.
The only reason why everybody loved Adam West is because he was technically the first Batman.
Actually, he wasn't the first one. The first one was Dean Kurtz. He played in a black and white, what I believe it was a movie or a TV show. It looks very shitty, but it does look like the 1960 costume almost. So it was pretty spot on for the comic and the time. But he was not the first. He was the second. That, because you know when he hit the main streets, everyone's like, "Oh shit, this Batman's way cooler, and he has like gadgets for everything." And Dean pretty much just had like grappling hook, batarang, pretty much like a default, like a jumping off point. See, in the eyes of some Batman people, Adam West is kind of that cartoony guy that, you know.
Yeah, he kind of was, I guess.
Cause come on, seriously, shark repellent. That's.
So ridiculous.
I will say that he has brought on more understarred villains than anyone else. He actually fought Solomon Grundy. That was pretty cool. Any other movie that you ever see Solomon Grundy in? I don't think so. No.
I'm really bad with names.
You want to know all the Batman? So, Dean Kurtz, I think it's Kurtz. I remember it with the K. Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer.
So you say names, but I can't put faces.
Oh, I remember their faces.
I can't.
I remember every
That's
one of them.
another.
Except Dean Kurtz.
I think this was another bad thing about about growing up in such a protected household I have no idea who anybody is.
You can never forget that smug bastard Michael Keaton's face. You know that new movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming?
No.
Okay.
Technically no. It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've.
Well, if you ever see it,
about it,
it's the Vulture. That's Michael Keaton. He plays the Vulture in this new upcoming one. Michael Keaton, he's been in a lot of movies, but I don't remember him in anything else. Oh god, you see the new RoboCop?
the newer one?
Yeah, the newest one.
No.
The latest. He was in there. He was the main villain, Michael Keaton. Yeah, that's probably as deep as I can get right there.
See, we need to have a day where all these movies you're telling me about, we need to actually like sit down and watch it all.
I don't know. RoboCop's kind of shitty on both ends.
I do remember seeing, I never saw like the full movie of the old RoboCop.
Do you remember that badass
like,
scene
clips.
where RoboCop, I forget his real name. Daniel's told me like time after time, but I forget it. But in the classic one, you remember where he just gets blown to bits by a bunch of gunmen?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's pretty fucking badass.
Did I not get...
He got limbs blown off with guns. That was hardcore. And then this new one, he just gets blown up by his car. They just rigged it to explode. It was pretty bullshit. You're like, that's so good. Like, you see a security camera of him doing it, he just blows up and he, like, flies through the air, and you're like, oh my god, and just flops back on the ground.
I didn't get a piece of wool from that sheep, and I'm a bit disappointed.
Dude, find a wolf, because there was apparently a wolf here. He killed, like, 4 sheep. Got, like, 4 wool right there.
Well, I killed the sheep, and I'm pretty sure all I got was a lamb chop from him. And it's like, where's my wool? I have yet, until now, I have yet to have killed a sheep without getting at least one piece of wool from him.
Dude, oh, I have 5 wool now.
Normally, I still only have 1 from that first one I killed. That's only the second one I killed, and I didn't get anything from him.
Then there was Ben Affleck, Batman.
See, I've heard...
Christian Bale, Batman. By far my favorite movie portrayal-wise. I really like it. I like the dialogue and the back and forth.
Yeah.
Really good. See, but comic book wise, oh, that's kind of hard because there's like Bruce Wayne, then there's Thomas Wayne, there's Dick Grayson Batman, there's fucking Tim Drake Batman, Jason Todd Batman, Damian Wayne Batman, there's Earth 2 Batman, Batman Incorporated, fucking Noel Batman, Long Halloween Batman, Terry McGinnis Batman, fucking what was it, Red Mist Batman, Medieval Batman, Batman Knights at the Round Table, fucking I already said Earth 2. What else was there? Thriller Killer Batman, where he has that fucking thigh-length leather boots and that short baby cape. There's always like the Great Detective Batman. There's like 1970s Batman. There's the Asylum Batman, or the Arkham Batmans, which are like Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, those ones. There's Justice League Batman, which is where he just teams up with the Justice League. There's The Dark Knight Returns, where he's like old and super buff, though he's really old. It's pretty impressive. There's Vampire Batman, which is pretty much Blood Mist, or Blood Rain? There's a comic book I have up there. It's in there. But I'd have to say Vampire Batman's my favorite. He's incredibly strong. Like, going up against Killer Croc, which is... Wait, do you know who Killer Croc is?
I believe so.
He's, I can't remember his real name, but he was I think like a fighter, a boxer, I believe. And I think he was born with this weird, like affliction or disease or whatever that was slowly turning him into an alligator. I think something happened that pretty much turned it full gear, where it was just like kicked into overdrive. And then he doubled in size and became like this giant crocodile man, which donned the name Killer Croc. Which is weird because he also began eating people. There's been a couple times where he's eaten people before, which is strange.
It's more gross and strange.
Well, it's odd because he's a person. He's still a person.
But now he's getting the animal instincts, which...
Well, I can't remember how it happens, but I'm pretty sure that, like most times, someone else did something to him that increased it and made it more stronger than it should have been.
Yeah.
Like Bane, he has venom, which when venom injects into his blood, he becomes like doubled in size and his strength is burly. But he also becomes, in some people's versions, when he's on venom, he becomes far less intelligent, even though in his normal state he's highly intelligent. Because in the Arkham Origins, which is one of the Batman games, he actually figured out who Batman was.
Really? Huh.
Even though most of his body is pipe-lined, like he has pipes running through his neck and inside. And he's just completely hopped up on venom. He figured it out somehow. And then Batman did something to make him completely forget it. I think he really fucked him up. Oh, that's he like. So, he killed him because he either had to kill Bane or he had to kill Commissioner Gordon, because Gordon's hooked up to an electric chair with a timer set to it. And the only way that the chair would not go off is if he killed Bane, which he's hooked up to a heart monitor. So if he dies, then the chair gets nullified. And so Batman kills him, and Gordon gets out, and then he brings Bane back to life with his like electric gloves. He just like completely revives him. And then later on he overdoses on Venom, and you have one more fight with him, and he's like a super grown monster. Completely just blows his brains out. Like he has shit brains now. Like he doesn't remember who Batman is. Like he forgot who Batman was. He's like he just like when you take too much meth, you just forget everything. Yeah. Like your whole mind goes to shit. That's what happened when he overdosed on Venom. His whole mind blew out. He was like, well, fuck. But the Joker is always a good villain. Who's your favorite villain, huh?
I don't know, Joker's always kind of cracks me up.
So
Penguin, the Penguin in the Adam West one, I thought was kind of funny. Remember?
Well, no one really. I didn't see it, but I know that not a lot of people take the Penguin seriously, because it's kind of hard to.
Well, it's probably because he was the one.
He's a fucking midget. A hunchback midget.
Not so much that, but he had more. If I don't remember right, in the older ones, it was mainly Penguin and Joker. Like I think there was more episodes where it was either Penguin or Joker who were trying to go up against Batman. And where the Joker would get close to beating him, Penguin always failed miserably. I think that's why nobody can ever take him seriously.
Well,
just because he can't. He's kind of worthless.
There are instances where, because in like the Telltale series, they don't describe him as a short, bald little man. He's just a normal-looking British person. But in some versions, he's just like a businessman. He was actually kind of like Bruce Wayne in a way. His family had like an enterprise too, but it fell apart, and he blames Batman, kind of like how Hush blames Bruce. But he blames that their financial failings upon the Waynes. And so he hates Bruce Wayne. And Batman comes after him because his whole family does like illegal fronts and stuff. So Bruce doesn't like him. He doesn't like him. But Batman goes after him because he's, illegally doing bad things.
Yeah.
See, but there's a guy in the DC universe called Hush, and Hush was one of Bruce's friends growing up. Kind of like how later in the years when Bruce is a full-grown man, he befriends Harvey Dent. He becomes his best friend. Hush was like a childhood friend for Bruce, and Hush, because I don't remember his real name, he actually killed his mother and father, and he became a surgeon. I don't know how. I don't know like the entire story, but he became a surgeon and he became a killer. And he was actually a very skilled facial surgeon, so he could like reconstruct his face and completely change it. And in Arkham City, you actually meet him, and he looks just like Bruce Wayne. Like, there's scars where he pretty much just redid it, like where it's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he took him from different people. Like, he understood how, like, certain facial muscles, certain face, like, parts were constructed with Bruce. So he had to kill, like, I think it was like 7 people to get the entire face to be perfect, that matches.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the comics, he's kind of hard to decrypt because there are some times where he seems where he stands in for other characters, like Jason Todd, when he was to believe dead. People thought he came back to life, but there were times where Hush was dressed up as him, where he was Hush, or Hush was Jason, and so it kind of leads this question: is Jason really dead? And then there'd be times where Clayface, this like monster, this actor that's completely constructed out of clay, he can shapeshift into people. He's taken on his form, and it's kind of hard to figure out like who's who, but it makes it for a great story.
Yeah.
How many Robins do you know?
Kind of, I mean, the one...
Which one?
The sidekick for Adam West. I know that one.
Which one was that one?
I remember his name.
Was it Dick?
Yeah. Yeah. In the Adam West ones.
That's right, yeah. It was him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Dick. But,
Always clowning around, Dick.
pretty much.
Do you know any others?
Not that I can think of right now.
Well,
Because...
the males, there have been 4 male Robins and about, I think it's either 3 female or 2, but I think it's 2. So, in order, like from start to finish, the first one he had was Dick Grayson, but he became Nightwing, his own superhero that mainly works in Bloodhaven, which is some other made-up city. Then there became Jason. Jason Todd was a orphan living out in the streets. Bruce took him in, but he died. The Joker...
so that was the one where Joker killed him?
yeah, he beat him to... Well, he beat him with a crowbar and then he blew him up. But to later find out that he came back to life. They took his corpse and they threw it... I think it was the League of Shadows. They took his corpse, threw it in the Lazarus pit, which is like this pit that can continue your lifespan, can keep you alive. And he came back to life, became a vigilante called the Red Hood, which kind of does what Batman does, but he murders people. So he murders like criminals and thugs. And then there came Tim Drake. Tim Drake is kind of like the detective, kind of like how Batman is. He pretty much follows Batman, the detective skill. And then there's his son, Damian, the latest Robin, which he's a trained ninja from the League of Shadows. Because, you know, Batman didn't marry this woman, but he did have, I guess, relations with her. This woman named Talia al Ghul, which she is related to a man named Ra's al Ghul, which is the man who uses the Lazarus pit to keep him alive for many, many of thousands of years. So he's related to him because of Batman and Talia. The women Robins, there's this redhead that I don't know, and then some blonde woman named Stephanie Brown, which I do not know. Don't know where they came in. But I think my favorite Robin, which everyone always seems to get angry at because I don't know why, would be Jason. I like Jason.
I wonder if it's because of the fact that, I guess later becoming the Red Hood and killing people.
No.
No?
Even when he was around, people hated him.
Weird.
The funny thing is,
I don't
people in the comic book, the ones who created it, they had a tally on the back of the comic book inside the very last page to whether to keep him alive or to kill him. Everyone voted to kill him. Yep. We lost connection to Xbox. It's fine.
Ah!
But yeah,
puppy.
They killed
I
him.
just had a puppy.
The
My
fans,
puppy's gone.
the fans did not want
Ah.
Jason at all.
Oh, there's my puppy. I got a puppy.
So
My
yeah,
puppy.
I know Daniel doesn't like Jason at all. Like, even the fact that he becomes a Red Hood, he just thinks he's too whiny as a person, which, I guess, maybe. I don't really see it as that. But, there's when he came back, there was a comic book, which I have up there, called Under the Red Hood, which is about him.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the first Red Hood. There are many stipulations that people believe that Joker was the first Red Hood. Which, believe it or not, I have it up there. In The Killing Joke, it actually shows him as the Red Hood. But in the comic book, it shows him as a Red Hood, which entitlement means he was the first Red Hood. But through the dialogue from the cops to the robbers, implied that he wasn't the original because there was someone else who donned the Red Hood as a robber who stole things. But I guess if you're going to be technical about it, from what we know, Joker was the first Red Hood, so yes. But the funny thing about that is people don't know who the Joker is, his real name. It's been like a huge mystery for many years. No, he just came up out of the day, like out of the blue one day, as this guy named Joker, like with skin like white and just pretty much a clown. But in The Killing Joke, they give him a backstory.
Yeah, because we watched that one night, didn't we?
I remember watching. I don't know if you were.
I'm pretty sure I had watched it with you. And for some reason, I can't remember what his name was anymore. I just remember the story. Can't remember what he wanted to be a comedian.
He was a failed comedian.
Yes, and his wife was pregnant. She was in a car accident, killed her. Wasn't it a car accident?
Probably.
Pretty sure it was a car accident.
Or
she died in the car accident.
Yeah, she did die. She did.
It drove him crazy.
Well, it threw him into a depression.
Yeah.
But because he learned about it as he was joining this heist with these two thugs, and he learned about it as he was leaving when the cops came in to find him to give him the news. He told the thugs, but they didn't seem to care. They still needed to do the heist. So, in his state of depression, they still made him wear the costume and go out for the heist, which went completely wrong. And Batman showed up to stop him after the two thugs were gunned down. I think it was gunned down, or Batman either stopped them. One of the two. But he goes to apprehend the Red Hood, and he completely trips, falls into a vat of Ace Chemical stuff, and
which disfigured his face.
Yeah.
Which I believe.
It stained his skin, dyed his hair, and everything. Gave him that stupid smile. Yeah, he was later fished out of the ocean, and he ripped off the hood, and his entire face had completely changed like such. And it was at that point that he pretty much went crazy.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, which doesn't really make sense, even in the comic books, he tells his joke to Batman after terrorizing Jim Gordon, nearly killing Barbara, and at the time Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
He's standing at the end. He's like outside the fun house that he's taken over from this guy trying to sell it and running his own weird freak show inside of it. He tells him some strange joke that just really doesn't make sense.
It made sense to me, but now I can't remember what it was. I just remember that it made sense to me.
It was about two guys who had escaped the insane asylum, and they were trying to get from one building to the next that led out to the city. Mm-hmm. And one guy says, I'm kind of scared. I'm not going to go first. He's like, okay, I'll go over the plank which connects the two buildings. And then when you come over, I'll shine the light on the board so you can see it and you can walk over. And he's like, okay. So the first guy walks over and shines the light. And it gets to the point where the guy's like, well, the guy didn't come over or something like that. And he's like, he's pretty much like, well, you want to know why? He's like, why? He's like, well, the second guy didn't come over because if he did, he would just move the light away and I'd just fall down. I didn't understand it. Like, I get it. It had to do something about being crazy. Like, he's like, I wasn't going to do it. That's a crazy move. And they're guys in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
But being a failed comedian like he was, I couldn't tell if the joke was that it still did land, even though, you know, it's funny because his whole life's falling apart and he's trying to make a joke, or the joke landed and I just couldn't understand it.
I don't know. It made complete sense to me. I thought it was good. It was a fairly good joke.
I thought it made more sense that he just made a bad joke that didn't land right. You know, Classic Joe, I think was his name.
Remind me again how...
Yeah.
So you know how the dog's tails, their position of their tails shows whether they're healthy or hungry or not?
Yeah.
Or the wording? How do I...
I think it's about length. Like the long...
No, I think it's the height, because this one here on the left, his tail is a little higher in the air and this is a
so
little
if you
lower.
give him a pork chop, he should be completely
So
healthy.
basically just any food that I have.
It's usually beef.
Well, then I have...
I mean, you could...
Steak. I have steak.
You could probably give him something more. I don't know.
Probably give him anything more, huh?
So that's the healthy one.
So...
You wanted the other one. He ran past that way.
Yeah, he's over there.
Somewhere over there.
Hey, big boy. Where'd you go? I'll just dig my little...
See, but I have many favorite comic book characters. Some are just what I think better than others. But, you know, other people with their statistics proving that not everyone, some are better than others. See, when it comes to Batman, I do like Batman, but I think Red Hood is better. Because his way of crime makes a lot more sense. He actually makes very good points about how Batman, you know, works. Like in the movie Under the Red Hood, he pretty much tells him pretty much how his method works. It's pretty funny. I thought it was funny. Because there are some villains out there like Penguin, Joker, Mr. Freeze, Bane. Those people that just pretty much try and do whatever they want. And he pretty much flat out tells them, what was the line? can't remember what he said to him. He says, like, you try and control everyone with fear. He's like, but what do you do with the ones who aren't scared? And then a couple things later go on. And he says, I do what you won't. No, he's like, I do what you could never do. He's just killing them. He's like, I'm taking them out. Which makes sense. In my it does. Cause like honestly, Batman doesn't really have other plan for that. Cause what do you do with the ones that don't fear him? He pretty much just locks them up and just waits for them to come out again.
Pretty much.
I think Jason has the right idea.
I've always wondered that, like, Superman and Batman were kind of the same way. Like, they didn't believe
Sometimes.
Depending on what Batman.
Oh no, there have been many times where Superman's killed people.
But it's not so much just people, cause in
Count freaks people.
Huh?
In like the normal version of Superman, where he's like, I won't kill people. He's flat out came to the point where he had to kill Doomsday, which is this giant monster or something from, I think, this planet called, I think it was called Planet Doom. I can't remember.
But see, technically, we would view them as an alien, threatening our world that needs to be dealt with, and the only way to deal with it is to be killed. That would be the mind view of people, and that's what you're demanding of him, so he kind of has to do it. Otherwise, a threat like that was just going to keep coming back.
See, a lot of people accept Superman because he's he's a lovable guy. He's a nice person. He wants to help us, protect us from, threats beyond our control that we can't stop. But, see, Batman sees him as when first meeting him, he saw him as a great threat to everyone. Like, he was a powerful being. He didn't know what his intentions were. So he immediately thought that he was trying to hurt everyone. But later on, he befriended him and later on the entire Justice League.
Yeah.
But Batman's paranoid.
That is true.
He sees like they're all good people, but there is a small possibility that they could turn. So he creates this plan for each one of the Justice League members on how to completely take them out. Like Superman. Superman was given a kryptonite bullet. That is his special means of killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Green Lantern, it has something to do with inducing fear or self-doubt because it
powers work.
It conflicts with his source of will. I forget Wonder Woman. It has something to do with, I think it was some sort of drug that altered her vision to see everyone as enemies.
Yeah.
Because she saw like all her friendlies and civilians as Cheetah. And Amazons are like, oh, it's all magic. I don't understand this. You're duplicating yourself. So everyone's a threat. And she's just trying to punch everything. Flash is kind of hard because they're always messing with the science, like behind just normal everyday life. But he was given a bomb. He went up against this guy named Mirror Master, and he came up close enough to almost grab him, and he clamped this bomb that dug straight into his skin and clamped in. And the thing with the bomb is, he was supposed to run at this certain speed, and if he dipped below that speed, he would blow up.
Yeah.
But if he tried to take the bomb out, like trying to, he has this ability to vibrate his molecules so he can shift through objects. We've seen him trying to do in the TV show. He said that was also the way to detonate. If he tried to vibrate through it, it would just detonate it. It would set off this sensor inside of it that would just blow it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how he survived, because somehow he did get out of it. I don't remember. Everyone did get out of it. Like Superman, they had to get this kryptonite knife and cut his skin open because his body healed around it. So like the bullet just dug in. But Batman even created a like final solution for himself.
Yeah.
It was pretty cheesy because he said the entire Justice League was pretty much his fail-safe for himself. But in other versions, there's one where he creates a dialogue, or not dialogue, but a log about how to beat himself.
Yeah.
About mainly about his past, like his parents. It causes him to be ill-tempered and sort of not composed all there together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of his weaknesses that he compiles.
Yeah.
He says pretty much any firearm, if caught off guard, he can be pretty much executed there. But no, he there have been plenty of times where Superman and Batman have killed people.
Yeah, it's just in most of the things that I've seen, it's against their morals or whatever to actually kill unless they really have to. And I think,
well, there are some times where they don't have the choices they make, not directly kill someone, but it just so happens that the choice they made was the choice that had to be made, and someone died because of it. Because like,
yeah, but I mean, like, killing a villain, like, there's been so many times when Batman could just kill the Joker and just gotten rid of the problem, gotten rid of the issue, and you wouldn't have to worry about it again, which I mean, I know, like, in a writer's point of view, you wouldn't want to do that because then you have nothing else to write about, and it's something that you want to continue and make more complex.
Well, people do it all the time. Like, Batman's he's killed the Joker, he's killed Ra's al Ghul, and in the vampire versions, he's killed a good handful of his group of villains. Yeah. But Ra's al Ghul sees Batman as the one to take over the League of Shadows when Ra's al Ghul has to step down. He's the best candidate for it. And so...
I did hear a creeper blow up. But where?
I'd be fine. Like, nothing will touch me.
I just heard it blow up, but I don't see where it happened.
Oh, shit.
Is it on your end? Shit.
Kind of.
Okay,
but Batman's killed Ra's al Ghul. In the movie, like with Christian Bale, he killed him by just not saving him. Because Ra's al Ghul had this plan of driving this train around town, spreading this fear gas, which was to believe be Scarecrow's original plan. But he took over it and pretty much decided that he was just gonna continue without Batman and just pretty much wipe Gotham out of all the crime by killing everything, like all the criminals and stuff. But he killed him by just not saving him. He detached the train that he was driving that was going off a dead track, and he says, where was it? Ra's al Ghul says, well, you you wouldn't kill me. That's really not how you are. He's like, you're right. I wouldn't kill you, but I don't have to save you. And then he just completely like flies. He completely detaches the back and just like flies out the back, and then he dies. He's like, okay. In the game version, he has this idea to take all these inmates from Arkham Asylum and throw them in this little part of the city that they corded off and called Arkham City. He had the plan of killing all of them, which would pretty much wipe out every criminal in Gotham. But you find out, because you thought it was Hugo Strange who was doing it, but he was just working for Ra's al Ghul. And then Batman finds out after you have this big old stealth fight sort of thing. And Ra's is like, yeah, it was my plan to destroy this city because you wouldn't join you wouldn't take over the League of Shadows when I asked. And so he tackles him through the window. He saves Hugo Strange, but he lets Ra's al Ghul fall onto this giant iron fence with those spikes sticking out, so he slams into it and dies. He kills Joker in Arkham City by not... So in the first one, there's this drug called Titan, which, when administered to the person, gives them more strength than Bane, because it's stronger than Venom. But it kills you because it's poisonous. And the Joker, at the end of the game, you have to fight him hopped up on so much Titan. And in the second one, well, he's dying because of it. And so he sneaks up on you somehow, and he poisons you with his blood by injecting it into him. And he's like, well, I don't have a lot of time to find a cure, but if anyone's going to be able to save someone, like, if anyone's going to save their own ass, it'll probably be you. So he poisons him and he throws him out of the window and tells him to go find the antidote, like create it, and then bring it back to him. And he actually creates an antidote with Freeze's help.
Yeah. And
he saves his own life. And he comes to the Joker and he has the antidote. And he almost takes it, but it completely breaks against the floor, and he died. He wasn't able to inject himself with it within the given time, so the Joker died. And it was kind of one of those things where, I guess he could have saved him, but, it wasn't deliberately his fault that he killed him.
Yeah.
He pretty much just ran out of time and shit happened. But, yeah, he died. And then after the second game, the third one came out, Origins, no one cared. And then Arkham Knight comes out, and Batman's kind of haunted by the Joker. But it's also comes to a point where he's like infected with some sort of disease that turns other people into the Joker. And he kind of has that. But not really much is explained on that I can really figure out by my own doings. But it's kind of interesting. There's also times where the Joker was the Batman, where he just dressed up.
Yeah.
Somehow he just got his costume and just dressed up as him. There was a time where Superman pretended to be Batman and fought Bane, because when Bane broke his back, he was out of commission, so he asked Superman to step in for like a couple days until he could heal. I thought that was pretty funny. Well, not funny, but interesting. A lot of interesting things about Batman is he only needs 3 hours of sleep, and the effect it has is about the same as 8 hours.
I wish I could have that, because that's...
Another thing is he's actually been hit with a explosive up close before, and fell off a building into a trash can and actually survived.
Yeah.
He also has a training regimen that would apparently kill any normal person, which is quite strange.
It was pretty.
Ooh, what's this? Oh. Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting. Even Superman himself said that Batman's the most dangerous man on the planet. So you know that means something.
Yeah.
Even Joker thinks that that's no mere mortal. Because there's been times where, wait, what the hell? Ow! Fuck. Okay, so apparently a creeper did explode right here because there's a huge gap right here.
Okay, I couldn't tell like who, which side, like which one it came from. I just heard it, and it kind of scared me, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Well, I guess this side gets this little oak plankers. But yeah, there's been times where the Joker and Lex Luthor, Superman's main villain, have teamed up. And they kind of laugh at each other. Like Joker laughs at Lex because it's pretty much easy to take down Superman. Just a hunk of rock can pretty much kill him.
Yeah.
And then Lex laughs at him because he's the guy he goes up against is just a mere mortal, and the Joker gets extremely pissed off. He's like, "There's nothing mere about that mortal." I thought it was pretty funny. It was a funny little thing to say. Another funny thing is Joker, he actually pays his taxes.
The Joker pays his taxes.
Yeah.
It's odd.
He says, "I might be a crazy maniac that fights a bat, but I won't take I'll fight a crazy guy in a bat suit, but I won't fight the IRS." And so he's just like throwing money bags at this like tax collector. I thought it was pretty funny. It was funny. There you go. House is brought back to normal. Perfect. See, but I like more than just pretty much the main people that everyone knows. Like Moon Knight, not everyone knows who that is. Kind of sucks. See, a lot of people didn't know Doctor Strange either, except for when this movie came out.
Yeah.
So I guess that's pretty good for him, because a lot of people are gonna kind of get into that.
Yeah. That's true. What?
I don't know, I just thought it was interesting, because he doesn't seem like one of the people that'd get his own movie.
Doctor Strange? Or...
Because he's kind of down there. I mean, he's not like Captain America or Spider-Man.
I think the reason why more the
Because you're stupid.
the less
MCU
known
bullshit.
people who, let's say the less known superheroes that you get like Doctor Strange, I think the reason why they're now starting to do stuff with them is they've been making way too many Superman and Batman and everybody else, and it's time that they do something new, because it's kind of gotten boring, because there's only so much you can do with them, and it's not like there's comic books coming out.
The problem with that is, though, you could pluck any guy from one of the comic books. Like, there could have been a Sandman movie, but there isn't. There could have been...
I kind of think that'd be cool.
Sandman?
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
Not the Marvel character, the DC character. The dude in the tux with the gas mask and the gas gun. That Sandman? See?
What's the difference?
Well, the Marvel one, Sandman is a giant man that controls a embodiment of sand. The one in the DC universe is just kind of like a knockoff Batman who has a gas gun that knocks people out. Hence the name Sandman. But
I'm just saying, thinking like oh fuck.
Get it? Because you put him to sleep. Sandman puts you to sleep. That's pretty much why he coined the name Sandman. Because he has this dart gun that puts you to sleep. But no, what I'm saying is, pretty much the only reason that I could see that Doctor Strange got his own movie is because he has one of the pieces of the Infinity Gauntlet. And everyone wants to get to the Infinity Wars. Because there's this guy named Thanos, and he has this glove called the Infinity Gauntlet, and each part of the hand is encrusted with a gem, and it just so happens to be that Doctor Strange has one of those gems inside. I think it's his medallion that allows him to do time or control time or whatever. Because there's the gem of time. Even Vision has one. Vision has one inside of his head. That little speck, like a little diamond. That's one too. I think 1, 2, 3. There should be 4, if not 5, pieces that go to the Infinity Gauntlet. That creates a large embodiment of power that make him a complete monster. And something about the Guardian of the Galaxies, I don't know. Don't know, don't care.
Something, they took a stone away from Thanos' son. Because I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. It's called an Infinity Stone?
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, so Thanos had one. Thanos, not so much Thanos, but his son had one. And they ended up taking it away from him.
See, I don't like the Guardians of the Galaxy, so I don't bother to learn anything about them.
I find it amusing, and that's probably it.
Well, yeah, because apparently Star-Lord's supposed to be some...
It is
Dickwad.
Chris Pratt.
The actor really doesn't matter to me. It's the character itself.
I don't know. It's just the fact that it's Chris Pratt and everybody finds him hot, and I just find him funny.
Well, Star-Lord is one of those people that's kind of serious but funny in his own way. Kind of like what was the duck? Howard the Duck. He's in the Marvel universe. He's a detective, kind of, but he's just a duck person. Yeah. He's a kid that is a duck. Well, I guess more of a man, but a duck. And that's it. There's like a 90s movie of him called Howard the Duck, which was really shitty. But the actor really doesn't do shit. Like Ryan Reynolds, in the eyes of like everyone who made Deadpool, like age, like stance, build, ethnicity, he fits the exact character that he is.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is, everyone says, is Deadpool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my opinion, I think he did a pretty good job. He embraced the character in a way where, I mean, it's funny.
Deadpool's not a serious person.
No, not at all. So he embraced the character, and it was, I think he did a pretty good job.
See, it's kind of hard to tell someone that you did a bad job when the people who made the character come out and tell you that, yeah, you were meant to be this person. Like, the character was born the same day you were, pretty much. Came from the same place. Was born in the same ethnicity. Even almost looks like you. Has the same sense of humor.
I think
build.
The reason why they find people that, I mean, I think, well, like you're saying, like, you're meant to be him because you're born and you're technically around the same age as him.
Like, we all sat down and we agree that you are this man.
Yeah.
Like, we had you in mind. Like, we can literally see you being this person. Kind of like how Stewart plays Xavier.
Yeah.
Or Picard, or whatever. I don't know his name. It's kind of a shame, but he's a good guy.
Oh god, it's 1:30 in the morning.
Yes, it is.
I have to be at work by 8 o'clock.
Now we are at the hour mark. We're 32 minutes in, past the hour mark.
Was it a good time to stop?
No way.
Oh, I do have to get some sleep. I have to be at work for another 8 hours tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I have to be at work by 8 o'clock.
I get to go to work for 5 hours.
What?
5 hours. I get to go for 5 hours.
Oh.
But there are some versions of Deadpool which are a lot different. Because, like, there's the one that we've seen on the movie, but there's also ones where he's in the Uncanny X-Men, and he also belongs to the X-Force. And he interacts with different people, but pretty much the same way. There's been one, well, a couple, I believe, where his mindset has been completely altered, and he just goes around killing all the superheroes of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
And he seems a lot more, not too much jokey, but more serious and more quiet.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting. But he seems like a sad guy.
Oh, I saw I hit my puppy.
Such a sad guy.
Huh?
Said such a sad guy. Like that one thing I saw on Facebook where he says he never genuinely had like a good day. He puts on like a good show for everyone, puts on a fake smile, but he's never genuinely had an okay day for himself.
Yeah.
That was kind of sad, but it also kind of makes sense. I mean, most of his life has been pretty sad. I guess it helps not to look at it that way, though. What? Well, so far, I'm cooking a lot of meat, got a lot of food. And, alright. Well, probably a good time as any to end it.
Yay! So I'm kind of getting really tired.
And boy.
What?
What